What's good, family? Welcome to the Neighborhood Book Club. I appreciate y'all for pulling up on me, tapping in with your boy. I am your host, Zoe Moss. Happy belated Christmas, man. Happy belated New Year, right? It's a new year, but we still got the same game plan. Ain't nothing changed, man. We just refining the game plan. We just getting the blade sharper, going out and killing it, man. Executing like we should. Two words that I felt to describe this year, man, is executing and exceeding. And if y'all want to take those into the new year, feel free to do so, right? Go ahead and like the video, man. Go ahead and subscribe for your boy. Stay up to date with all of the upcoming videos. Go ahead and share it with your loved ones. Share the knowledge around. Each one, teach one. You dig me? If you don't have the book list, that will be in the description below. Now for today, we are getting into part 2. I said 2 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. All about finances and really breaking down the mentality between rich and poor people when it comes to money. So go ahead and listen in, get you a pad and a pen, man, and let's get down to business. Okay, so the first lesson we're gonna get into today is it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Again, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Okay, just so we're on the same page, we all want to obtain and maintain wealth. I think we can all agree that is a goal and that's a desire that we all have. But to be on the same page, what is wealth? I'm gonna use one of Robert's definitions, which is wealth is the number of days you can survive forward at your current status. Again, wealth is the number of days you can survive forward at your current status. Okay, pretty much how he breaks it down is that wealth is kind of like a tree. You plant the seed, you take care of that seed, it grows into a tree, and over time that tree is so big that it provides shade and fruit for not only you but all of your family to enjoy, and eventually it no longer really needs you, barring catastrophic natural events, COVID. But even so, there's ways around that. But what he's seen a lot of people go into is that everyone wants the wealth, everyone wants that tree, but they fail to realize that wealth grows. Okay, a lot of people are caught into, let me make the money, I need to make millions, give me millions, right? They just want the fruit, they want the shade, but they forget or they don't realize that it takes time and effort to create a tree. Also, trees are not just made of a year. Not a real tree, not a fruitful tree, not the long-term, lifelong tree that we want for our generations. Really what the problem is that even if we could get that, you wouldn't know how to take care of it. You wouldn't know the things that it needs in order to maintain itself. People are too caught up on just having the money, but people are caught up on just the money, right? Everybody want to be where the money reside, and I ain't mad at you. But what I'm telling you is this. But instead, you need to be focused on how to grow the tree. If I can make a money tree, the money is wherever I'm at. That knowledge, that power comes from financial intelligence and financial education. When you don't have them, the tree is gonna die faster or just as fast as you got it. Now we can all think of bad examples of people with money. Someone hit the lotto, lost it. Athlete made a lot of money, lost it. On and on and on. But we're not looking at that. There are some lessons that could probably be learned from that, but that's not what we're gonna look at. I'm trying to go forward. So I want you to comment below 2 or 3 people that you think have done a great job of keeping and maintaining their wealth. Who do you financially admire? Who do you want to study and copy financially? The closer they are to your situation, the better it is, because the more you're able to emulate. And for this case, we'll just call them your mental financial mentors. Okay, as we talk about these things, I want you to reflect on them, and do they exude or do they show these properties? Now that we know what wealth is, we have to understand that financial intelligence and education are a big part of that. Intelligence is one of your main tools to solving problems and obtaining solutions. Education is obviously what you learn, information that you have at hand, and what's even more powerful is how useful or relevant that information is. Now Robert stated in his experience We all want wealth, but we don't have the proper foundations in order to build it. He used the analogy that everybody wants the empire state building of wealth, but we never set ourselves up with the right foundation. And he proceeds to say that everybody wants this empire state of wealth, but only put a 6-inch concrete slab as their foundation. And the problem with that is it's gonna fall over. Now, to give you reference, 6-inch slab, 8-inch slab is all you need in order to build a house. But can you build the Empire State Building on that? Of course not. So the point of the matter is you have to start from the ground up, and you have to dig down sometime and develop the proper foundation. Now, I believe foundation comes down to what it is that you have in mind. What is your goal? What is your vision? What are the fundamentals to making that happen? For example, if you wanted to be a great music artist, you would learn how to write songs, you would learn how to record and produce, and you would develop that. You would become the best that you can at that. And then to think beyond that, what would separate you from the pack? Can you play instruments? Can you dance? Are you fit? Are you a sex symbol? Can you sing? Right? The list goes on and on and on. We'll take someone like Chris Brown, for example, and you look at his versatility. He can sing, he can dance, good looking dude, draws, clothes, all kinds of different stuff. The excess outside of just his talent makes him a standout, right? And I ask you, are you standing out, right? And if so, or you have these talents, is it obvious? And if it's not, then we got to make it so. Regardless, go to the core roots of your purpose and of your craft and go master them. Okay, so now we understand what our foundation is built on, right? How we build our foundation. But now we're trying to build the wealth. How do we build the wealth? That all comes down to assets and liabilities. Now, an asset, just as a reminder, is money. It's something that puts money in your pocket. Liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. We have to train ourselves to see assets and liabilities, then go out and buy assets. They're literally all around us, everywhere. Most of us don't see them or just don't know. Some people buy assets, some people buy liabilities thinking they're assets. Some people buy assets but don't stay on top of it, and then they turn into liabilities. There's a whole lot of ways that this can turn. So let's take an example of a car. You got your car, it's automatically a liability. It costs you gas, costs you car insurance, you might have a car payment, and any maintenance that you might have to do, right? It has a purpose of getting you money, but it itself does not make you money unless you decided to do Uber. Right? Now it's an asset. You drive it around, make money, puts money in your pocket. But at the same time, it could just as easily turn right back into a liability. Here's how. If you were out driving for Uber one day and you stopped somewhere to have lunch and your car got towed, every day and as much time as they take it and as much money they add on and on and on to your car tow, and being at the tow yard, it's a liability. It's costing you money now. Now, you're making wealth. That's cool and great. But it doesn't mean shit if you don't know how to manage it. And managing it comes down to what is referred to as the cash flow quadrant, right? So cash flow quadrant is understanding and mastering where your money goes. Robert Kiyosaki also has a book about this. That will be in the description, in the links, or the link for that will be in the description. When you don't understand your cash flow, you often fall into what Robert calls a young couple story. It's pretty much getting a job to make money, to buy stuff, and then you put yourself in debt. And then you accumulate a whole bunch of debt, and then the only way to get out of it is to get a new job, to make more money, to buy more stuff, and you make more debt. Then you get more responsibilities, get a new job, get more money, buy more stuff, more debt. You see how it kind of, man, it's a vicious cycle. And really, we can put a stop to it if you can control your spending habits. Now, a lot of us don't have the best spending habits, but the way that you conquer that is knowing your spending habits and taking control of your spending habits, okay? Everybody's different, so it's harder for some to do that than others, but others really don't matter, okay? It's about you. Know yourself, control yourself, master yourself. Get smart, get creative. Maybe you're better at saving when you have cash in your hand. Maybe you're better when you have a debit card because you feel like you can record it and know exactly where your money is going. Maybe you aren't good with credit cards, so you can't have a credit card. Maybe you got to give it to somebody else. Husband, mother, brother, spouse, wife, whatever. Maybe you got to just cut it up. So again, know yourself and make adjustments. Robert brings up a parable that's in the book referred to as the power of the mirror, which is pretty much knowledge of self, having power and control over yourself, and how that power of mirror is more powerful than power of weapon and power of gold, right? Why is that? Because although you might not be the strongest in said situation, when you can control yourself, you might be able to get yourself out of it by using your brain. Or you might not put yourself in that situation to begin with. Power of self still wins over money because you can't be bought. You don't allow yourself to fold to money into that desire. Again, knowing self is the most powerful thing that we have in our arsenal. Personally, I feel like it brings a lot of peace to know self as well in how you handle your money and how you handle your business. And you don't let yourself get distracted. You don't let yourself get completely swept away like you might have before. You learn to stop the damage, right? You know to stop the damage, right? You know when to make changes. You're healing, right? You're healing your money habits, you're healing your credit score, you're focused in, you're locked in. Again, take control of self and really put yourself in the best position possible. I want y'all to understand right now that I'm not a full master of everything that I'm speaking on, but I felt that, I learned this information and it was only right for me to share this information, right? Each one, teach one, man, and I'm grateful to do that. It's really just a learning process for me, and I'm just trying to bring more people into the classroom. But I appreciate y'all for pulling up with me, tapping into the Neighborhood Book Club, man. It's love. We're gonna go ahead and bounce up out of here.